So I assume if you clicked on this video that you understand what I mean by a long hauler. My husband and I have a dear friend who has been in this category since March, and it's November now. So we're getting some reports from him about how it goes, and I see similar reports as I look through the news and all sorts of different things. What I'm offering today is a restorative yoga sequence. So what restorative yoga is it's much different than active yoga where the muscles are stretching or strengthening. Restorative yoga props the body up, particularly today. We're going to use a couple chairs and some blankets and some pillows, some things you'll find around your own home. I'm here in my living room. I'm not in the yoga studio today because I want you to see how I find things in my own home to use, not just yoga props, so that this is really available for everyone. You do not need any yoga experience to do this sequence. I'm not putting anything in it that's going to be, excessive or, nothing upside down, nothing like that. So anyone can do this sequence. What restorative yoga can offer is that instead of stretching the muscles or strengthening the muscles, we support the body in such a way that all the muscles can release and relax. So really, you're learning to relax more and more deeply as time goes by. The more you practice this sequence, the more you'll understand it, and the more effective it will become. So as the muscles relax, the breathing can become more complete, and therefore the nervous system as well can begin to relax, and the body as a whole can begin to restore itself. So in other words, we're setting up the circumstances to help the body heal and recuperate. Doesn't mean this is a cure-all, not at all, but it will offer you some relief, particularly when there's deep fatigue. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have moved our coffee table away from our sofa. And I pulled in this little ottoman thing. Now, what you really need for this first pose are 2 seats. I could sit on my sofa, but I want to show you why that would not be the best idea. It is because I sink. My buttock sinks down and my knees are lifted, and it's just not a good situation. If you have a really firm bed or a really firm sofa, it might work just fine. But in my circumstances, it's going to be far better if I sit on that coffee table. And I'm lucky because my coffee table is plenty sturdy. Easily it can hold my weight, no big deal. Now I have this stool in front of me. Yeah, and I think you can see that my buttock doesn't sink down. Instead, my knees are pretty much at the level of my hips. And as well, I can take my feet either side of this little stool, and my feet point forward, and this is just right here in front of me. It's slightly lower, maybe by, 2 inches than the coffee table. That's the first part of what I need. Now I need a big cushion. The more sturdy these 2 pieces are, the more give the cushion can have. However, stability is important. So I say that because, you could grab a couple pillows off your bed, but bed pillows tend to be super squishy, okay? Maybe yours aren't, I don't know, but mine are. So I'm gonna take this cushion. It's a backrest from here on our sofa. It's a great size. You see, it's not super wide. It's pretty thick, maybe, 5-6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here on my coffee table, put that to the side. I want my buttock pretty well down. My feet are wide. This is directly in front of me. Now, I'm going to place this cushion on that little ottoman, pull it right up to the top of my thighs, and press down. Now it's still on top of my legs. Don't let your legs just flop out. Press down, lift through the abdomen, and lengthen and come forward. And then rest your head. I'm going to add in one more thing to make this more comfortable. A pillow. This is going to be for my head. So I pull this cushion in, push down, lift through the abdomen, come forward. And I'm just going to put this pillow, glasses off, right under my forehead. Then I can just interlock my fingers and let my arms relax. Now, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth. I will say, proportions are everything. I can't set the same person up with the same props even, because it depends on your size and the size of your props, obviously. But the idea is I'm keeping my feet sturdy, inner heels down. I'm keeping the buttock flesh down, but this cushion encourages the abdomen to draw deeply back, so the lower back is really wide. And when I rest my head down, the upper back is also wide. So the support that you give to the front side of the torso will help you bring your awareness into the back side of the torso. So you can see here from the photograph that the shoulder blades widen away from the spine. The side ribs around the thoracic widen away from the spine, and the low back widens away from the spine. So go ahead and set yourself up now in this position. Once you get there, be sure that you relax the neck, as we've said before. Make sure the abdomen has plenty of support. And when you bring your forehead down, feel how you can move from the back of your skull. There's a bone at the back of your skull. It's called the occipital ridge. From that bone, feel that the skin can flow towards the crown of the head. And the forehead skin should work to flow down in the direction of your chin. Let the head rest in that way. Interlock the fingers so that the arms can rest, and you can give more and more space to that region between your upper shoulder blades. Relax the mouth, the jaw, the tongue. There should be space between your teeth. Take your time with your breath. In fact, begin to observe how the length of your exhale can quite naturally begin to grow longer and longer as you stay there. So that doesn't mean you exhale more air. Instead, it just means that you take your time. Take your time with your exhale, allow the body to relax. And when you breathe in, things are a little bit different now, because the front body has something pressing into it. So your inhale will move slightly more into your side ribs. So become aware of that. Don't force it. Just observe how the body, as you relax more and more, will take care of this process on its own. Observe how the side ribs expand a little bit more in this position, particularly with your inhale. Observe how that teaches the flesh, the muscles, even the bones on the back body to bring in that sense of width. Almost like the back body is being covered by a very wide blanket. When you connect to that sense of width, use your exhales long and steady and easy. Always breathe through the nose when that's possible. Of course, if the nose is congested, that's not always possible, and that's okay. Even though I want your legs to be relaxed, and they should be, keep the pressure of your feet on the inner heel bones.
And feel how that keeps your knees above the ankles and again, not flopping out to the sides. So the legs are steady even here. Relax the inner groins. We tend to carry tension in our inner legs. Consciously observe and relax that region. Be here just a few more moments. Notice the back of the neck. Relax the back of the neck. Relax the sides of the neck. Relax where the neck meets the shoulders, that trapezius region, and feel again more and more how that region has a sense of width. Now, we're going to come up. So to do that, place your hands flat down on the bolster or on the cushion, just beneath your shoulders. And when you come up, keep your eyes closed. And with your exhale, push that big cushion away and let your head be the last thing to come all the way up. Then keep your eyes closed. Use a gentle inhale to lift the head upright. And take your time opening your eyes. It's a transition and it doesn't have to be quick. Open your eyes gently and softly.
Now we're going to change this setup a little. You'll set the bolster aside, move the second chair, in my case this little ottoman, right out beyond your right knee. Because my thighs here, this is really low, so I need to put a cushion on this so there's no like dropping over this cliff. So that's roughly the same height as my leg. So now again, I take this cushion, I push down, I lift my abdomen, my side ribs up, but I'm turning in the direction of that right leg. And with my exhale, I relax the abdomen and come forward. That little pillow's kind of handy. When I set my head down now, my body's going to the right. So I'm going to turn my head away from you. I'm going to turn my head to the right and rest with my left temple on this little pillow.
So set yourself up now in this position that I've shown. The body, the trunk of the body, will turn towards the right side. So when that happens, keep your left heel, knee, and left buttock in the same place. Exhale and relax the abdomen. So even the low abdomen flows towards the right. And the thick back left ribs, the left side of the spine there, that thick region, should flow away from the spine so that the abdomen can move towards the right. And when you lengthen yourself over that cushion, both sides of the body should work to lengthen as evenly as possible. Once you've turned your head and you're resting there with your head turning also towards the right, you go ahead and interlock your fingers again, just like you did when we were coming forward in the center. Now, as you close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out through your nose in a conscious way, you might feel from inside the body how significant this change is. Because we're turned to the side, your left back body, that whole side there on the left side of your spine, will be slightly more spacious than the right side of the body. Just as before, take your time with your exhalation. Allow that exhalation to become long and easy. But now when you inhale, again, the breath can move into those side ribs. But because of the shape that you're in, you may feel the back left ribs have more space and expand even slightly more with your inhalation. So, again, because of how we've changed the shape of the body, the breath moves into different spaces. So that means your lungs are being used in a different way. So feel how the back left side of the body can be spacious, but even as you exhale, all those same things come into play. The sides of the neck letting go, the jaw, the tongue relaxed and soft. Feel how the shoulder blades gain space between them. Keep the inner heels down. Keep awareness at your inner groins. And things will shift and change and adjust as you stay. Be keenly aware of the inner movements of the body. So again, the more you practice this sort of sequence, the more that awareness will heighten, the more you'll observe. So now we're going to come up here from the right hand side. So in the same way, put your hands down under your shoulders on top of that cushion. Keep your eyes closed. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, gently press that cushion down and roll the body up with the head coming up. Very last thing. And then gently, softly open the eyes. And we'll transition to the second side.
Set all the props aside so you don't struggle with it, right? So you want to take any struggle away that you can. And then you just move this simple prop, whatever that is for you. And as you do this, give it a few chances. Try different props. See what works well for you. If you have time, just pause the video and go try a bunch of stuff. It's really surprising how different it will feel with different props. The more propped up and the more correct you get those props, the more relaxing it'll become. So now I've got that big pillow on the ottoman. I put my big cushion, I push down, I turn my chest to face that direction that my leg is in. And exhale to come forward. I want the trunk of the body as evenly forward on this big cushion as possible. I add in my little pillow. I'm going to the left, so I'm going to turn to the left and put my right temple on that cushion. I'll just interlock my fingers again. You can hold on, but again, you want to relax as much as possible. So if my fingers are interlocked, they're more easy to just hold there.
So go on and set yourself up now, if you haven't already, turning the trunk of the body to the left. As before, feel how you can maintain your right heel, your right knee, and your right buttock in the same place, so that as you lift and lengthen through the sides of the body, you relax the abdomen so that it turns to the left, and you support the abdomen with that firm cushion, supporting the whole frontal body as you turn your head to the left. Place the arms in such a way that they can relax, creating that width between the upper shoulder blades. Remember to soften the mouth, the jaw, the tongue. Soften your forehead and that space there between the eyebrows. Let the eyes close, and again, breathe through the nose if that's possible for you today. And as the mouth and jaw and tongue relax, bring that relaxation into the sides of the neck, into the throat, into that trapezius region at the base of the neck. Keep looking to broaden more and more between the upper shoulder blades. Observe how now, as your turn towards the left-hand side, how the thick back ribs on your right-hand side in particular gain more width, more space. Even the lower back on the right-hand side will have the opportunity to relax and let go. Long, smooth, easy exhalations. Nothing about this should feel rushed. If something is uncomfortable, then you need to shift and change the props a little bit so that you can make it comfortable. But use some discernment, meaning sometimes when you're asked to just be in a certain place for a little while and observe what's happening, we can get restless. And that tends to make us think, oh, I have to move and change. So you have to have some discernment. Am I just getting restless, or does something really need to be changed? Or can you breathe and allow those transformations, those letting goes to happen right where you are? All the while, be aware of the inhales and the exhales in particular. Last little bit here now. Soften the groins on both sides, the inner groins, let them go. Observe how that might even affect the lower abdomen. Now we're going to come up again. So place your hands right under your shoulders on top of that thick cushion. Keep the eyes closed, and with an exhale, push that cushion away and gently bring the body upright, lifting your head lastly. Keep the eyes closed as the head comes all the way back upright. And then with patience, slowly open the eyes.
Setting the props aside. Okay, so now we're going to change positions. So on to the second pose. All right, now I've rearranged things a little bit. I've moved that table further back. I'm going to use this little ottoman again. And I'm going to use this cushion. So I'm going to sit on this, face this little ottoman, and cross my legs. I'm crossing the legs in the center of the shin bone. I'm trying to bring my feet under my knees. Now, if this is difficult for you to sit this way, meaning if when you sit this way, your knees hike way up and the hips are tight, you can do a couple things. You can put a little more cushion under the buttock, or you can go right back up here onto whatever it was you were sitting on before. You just have to get your hips back well, and you just cross the legs in a simple way, and you bring whatever you have here in front of you. And then you would work in a similar way that you did a moment ago, just with the legs crossed. But if you can sit on the floor or on that cushion, I'd like for you to. So in other words, you get the same effects of a forward bend, which was the same as what we did before, But with the legs crossed, it works the hips in a different way. So it creates a relaxation there in a different way in your hips and lower back. So it's worthwhile to do both. So sitting on that little cushion, cross the legs, center of the shin bones. Now, you want to support under your knees, some kind of support. So that could be a couple bath towels rolled up. I could use, something like this. It's like a crocheted blanket. I could do something like that and stick that under my outer knees, above my foot, under my knee. But what I'm going to choose to use are just these little throw pillows from my sofa. So I support under the outer knees like that and give it a good support, right? So the legs can really rest, right? Now I'm going to come forward and bring my head down. But again, I'd like to fill this area so that this whole area is drawn back, even the front ribs, and nicely supported so that this region in my back can spread wide and relax. So I'm going to go back to these bigger pillows. Now, these are, it's kind of squishy. One is not going to do it for me. So I'm going to use both of them. It seems a little high at first, but once I kind of smash them down, it works. Because you see how much that supports my front body. I'm bringing back my little pillow. Glasses off. You're going to come straight forward. The support under your knees should allow your legs to totally relax. The support in the front body should allow the front body to totally relax. Bring the forehead down. You can interlock your fingers up here. You could bring the hands to the sides. You could hold on to whatever you have here. Ooh, that works pretty well for me because my fingers are kind of in there. And you come down.
So go on and bring yourself into this position. Again, please be sure that your outer legs are supported well. And when they are, this should bring no tension or pressure into your knees. If the knees feel pained, then probably you need a little bit more height under your hips. As I showed, place the arms where you do not have to struggle to keep them there. You could even place the whole forearm onto some additional cushions there in front of you, if that's more comfortable for you. So they're not reaching to the floor, but they're also not needing to lift onto the platform where your head is. So that when the hands are secure, feel how the forearms and the elbows and the upper arms all relax. And they can create that release in between the upper shoulder blades. Arrange the head as we did before. So that bone at the base of the skull, that's called the occipital ridge. It's just above your neck. From there, you want to feel that the skin of the scalp flows in the direction of the crown of your head and then towards the hairline, so that when your forehead is supported, the skin of the forehead is drawn down towards the eyebrows. When the head is arranged in that way, the eyes can begin to relax. So close the eyes, soften the muscles around the eyes, across the temples. With the eyes closed, feel that the jaw can soften and bring that spaciousness again into the mouth. Lower teeth release away from the upper teeth. Soften the tongue so that the throat and the sides of the neck can release and relax. That region at the base of the neck, the trapezius region, soft and wide. Observe the breathing, and again, look for that long, complete exhalation. Observe how the inhale can be steered into the side body, helping to bring awareness into the back surface of the trunk of the body. So that middle back region, those thick back ribs, can widen away from the spine. The stability that's in the front body, helping the abdomen to soften and release back. Become aware of the weight in the buttock and in the buttock bones. Become aware of the weight of the thighs, completely resting into that support that you've created. Soften the inner groins yet again. And now then, we're going to begin coming up in just a few moments. So, bring the hands under the shoulders, maybe on that platform where your head's resting, or on the pillows on your lap. Take a breath, and with an exhale, push those supports down and slowly begin to come up. Then once you come up with the head last, keep the eyes closed until the head comes all the way upright. And then patiently open the eyes.
So these positions sort of mimic one another. I'm keeping all this stuff. I'm moving this little ottoman just beyond my right knee. I'm turning the pillows too, turning my chest, turning everything to point that way. Exhale, you come forward, turn the head to the right because I'm going to the right.
And then we begin that same pattern of relaxation. Relax the arms, relax the shoulders, relax the face, the neck, the jaw. Bring awareness into the breath and observe, in moving to the side in that way, how it's changed your breathing. You can access that breath a little bit more now on the left side of the body. We're not staying as long on this round. So that's okay, because you're starting to get accustomed to what we do on each side. Last little bit, abdomen relaxing and flowing to the right. Release and relax the legs completely and entirely into that support, inner groins included. Then place the hands under the shoulders. With an exhale, press the floor away and gently bring yourself up with the head last. And gently open the eyes.
Go to the second side. Turn even the pillows, turn your chest. Exhale to come forward, rest your head and turn it to the side.
And then it begins again. So feel the weight of the hips. Secure the arms so that they can rest. Soften the face, the jaw, the tongue. Feel the space in the sides of the neck. And feel how that flows to the trapezius there at the base of the neck. And widen the upper shoulder blades. The spine at the center of your back should feel as though it is soft and the two sides of the body flow evenly away right side to the right, left side to the left, almost like water flowing off the back to each side. Of course, you're shifted to the left now, so the right side body will be slightly more spacious. Abdomen soft and flowing towards the left. Release and relax the legs, thigh bones, groins, completely and totally. Last little bit there now. Then place your hands under your shoulders. Take a breath, and with your exhale, slowly press the base away and come on up. Head coming up lastly, and finally the eyes open.
Set all the props aside. Bring this back to center. Now we switch the legs. So again, it's a very simple sequence. It's meant to be. You don't want to make things complicated, but you want to give the body a way to rest deeply. Now, I will say, because these are forward bends, they could make you feel a little groggy at first. That's good. That means you're resting. It's okay, because we're going to change as we finish with the sequence. So again, you place those pillows, whatever you have, lift up, and with an exhale, mold the front body around that support.
Begin again as you come forward. Begin again as you relax the arms, broaden the space in the back body, flow the skin of the scalp towards the hairline, towards the brow. Each time you come in to one of these positions, treat it as if it's the first time you've ever been there. Treat this time as sacred time, time that you take care of yourself, time to be aware of the breathing. Breathe wide into the side body. Allow the body to mold around those blankets that support in the front of you so the abdomen can be soft and deep. Groins relaxed. Legs relaxed. In and out through the nose. Hips heavy. Legs released. Groins released. Last little bit here now. Then place the hands under your shoulders. Use your exhale, press the blankets away, the pillows away. Gently bring yourself up with the head last. Open the eyes. And then turn your props towards your right leg. Then we begin again at the right side. Turn the abdomen from left to right and mold yourself around those cushions you have for yourself. Soften the face, the jaw, the tongue. Turn the head to the right and rest the head there on the left side. Keep the jaw soft, trapezius wide. That's that space between the shoulder blades. As you turn the body now to the right, the left side of your back will be a little more spacious. Observe how the breath very naturally will move into that space, will occupy that region. Keep the left hip down and both legs relaxed, including the left leg. Be patient with the breath. Long, smooth, easy exhalations. Now we're going to come up and we're going to change sides once more. So bring the hands under the shoulders. With an exhale, push your props away. Gently come up. Inhale, lift the head and gently open the eyes. Move your props to the left side. When you do, and you place those props well for your abdomen, lift your chest and turn. Take a breath, and with your exhale, move the abdomen from right to left. And then lengthen the side body and come forward over your cushions. Last side now in this particular part of the sequence. So observe the width of the breath in the side ribs. Observe how, as you move to the left, the breath will occupy your back right ribs more completely. Let both legs be relaxed, particularly keep the right hip and right leg down, resting into the support that you've created. The head should be turning to the left, so you rest on the right hand side of your head. Remain patient with the process. Keep the sides of the neck soft, the jaw soft, the space between the shoulder blades wide. Observe how the awareness in the back body has become heightened over time. Last little bit now. Go on and bend your arms and place your hands under your shoulders. Take a breath, exhale, push the props away, slowly bring the body up, head last. Once the head rises back to center, gently open the eyes.
Okay, so now on to the next thing. Okay, so we're transitioning. I've moved the ottoman away. I'm going to use the coffee table now. And I have this little lightweight blanket. You can use a towel also. But I'm just going to put it up there on top of that surface. A, so it's soft, but B, so that it's not cold in any way. The cat's going to help, so that's always good. Okay, so now I'm going to lie on my back and bring the coffee table behind my knees. So when I place my legs like this, you see how I'm kind of lifting my buttock, and then I'm using my forearms to push myself a little bit away from that table. So it creates a traction in my low back. When I go to lie back, I allow the spine to come down vertebra by vertebra, and then the head is back. Now, for some of you, you'll feel fine with your head just flat on the floor like that, but for the most part, you're going to get more support by taking a little bit of a pillow. So I just folded this Afghan in half. Oh, he really is trying to help. Okay. We have cats. They're really in charge, right? So I'm bringing that little pillow right under my head. I'm keeping the buttock lengthening away. Turn the arms to face the ceiling. Then turn the upper arm beneath you like that. So it really feels like your shoulder blades come down the back and support the back of your chest more.
The legs completely release and let go, arms to the sides. You want to feel that from the back of your head where it's touching that blanket, that bone at the base of your skull lengthens away from your neck. You see how my jaw and throat changed? Watch again. Watch how this region changes. I soften my mouth and my tongue. I lift my head a little and I pull that bone at the base of the skull away, and the jaw releases. The skin of the scalp flows towards the forehead flows down, and the gaze really rolls inward as the chest is lifted. Your hands can be on your body, or they can be to the sides. So bring yourself into this position now. Arrange the head properly, and now even here, feel how the shoulders relax back, and still that space at the base of the neck, that trapezius region, can be wide. Again, observe the breath and allow it to be long and smooth and easy just as before. However, your orientation is different now because it's your back body resting against something. Feel even here, after you've had something pressing at your abdomen for some time, how possibly there's a little more awareness there. Can the abdomen remain relaxed? And with your back resting against the ground, bring awareness into the breath and how you can even feel the breath still in those back ribs. Thanks to the weight of the calves resting on your support, observe how the thigh bones can relax completely and the musculature around the thighs, the quadriceps, the hamstrings can be soft. Again, be aware of the groins, both the inner groins, but also the frontal groins, where your thigh bone meets the hip. Feel how that area can be soft and let go. Surrender there, completely and totally, further and more as time goes on. Bringing the legs up like this can be really useful if you have a hard time sleeping. This can be a standalone pose if you have a restless night. Maybe, you get out of bed and you just put your legs up on something for a little while. And it can sort of change the atmosphere inside. Take just a few more moments here. If the arms are at your sides, go ahead and bring them now onto the frontal body. Observe with your hands on the frontal body how you can become a little more aware of the side ribs. That inhalation broadening into the side body and continuing with that patient, long, complete exhale. And then go ahead and bend your knees and roll yourself onto the right-hand side. Turn your chest to face the floor. Use your hand to press the floor away. And then gently bring yourself all the way back, up to sitting.
Okay, one last position now. Okay, last position, Shavasana, which is final resting pose, but we're taking it with support. Cookie's going to help me. It's a different cat. Okay, I've pulled that cushion back out again. I want some lift under my back. This is quite high, so meaning it's quite deep. That won't feel good on everyone. And those of you who are dealing with deep fatigue, it's important, but it's also important that you don't overdo it at first. Once you do this sequence a little bit, 4 or 5 times, you're going to start to get a sense of what feels good for you. And then you can manipulate it as time goes on and make cushions bigger or smaller. But in any case, I'm going to sit in front of this cushion with my knees bent and my hands on the ground. Okay? Now, when I go to lie back, I'm starting with my buttock very close, but I push that cushion down. I roll the buttock away towards the back of my heels. And then I lengthen vertebra by vertebra away from the buttock to lie back. I do not want this jammed into my low back. That's why the buttock rolls away. But I also don't want a big, huge space here. You don't want a giant gap there in your lower back. Right? Now, I have this blanket again for my head. If the shoulders are stiff or tight, the more likely the head will do something like that. That's really not a good place to be. So all that means is you take enough support under your head that you can get that same length in the back of the skull, so the sides of the neck are long, jaw and throat are deep, so that you can hold that and just let your head rest in that position. Turn the upper arms out. See how much it allows my chest to lift now. Then one leg at a time. Straighten and straighten. Bring that blanket all the way to the base of the neck.
Once the legs straighten, allow them to completely release and relax. You'll feel that they gently fall out a little bit towards the sides. Relax the ankles, relax the knees. Breathe in and out through the nose once again. And begin to notice that with the exhalation, your front thighs can begin to become heavy and descend down towards the earth. Notice again those inner groins and the frontal groins. Allow both to release and let go completely, entirely. Observe the space across the abdomen. Let the abdomen relax and be soft. Be patient with the breath. So again, those long, smooth, extended exhales. Observe the inhalation and how it can move quite easily now into the side body, filling up that space in the center chest, just beneath the collarbones. Relax the arms down, release across the shoulders and the base of the neck. Again, feel that softness across the jaw, inside of the mouth. Soften the temples, the region around the eyes, and soften the eyes themselves. Feel how the eyeballs can deflate and release back towards the brain, even towards the back brain. Keep your mind's eye on the rhythm of the breath and on the weight of the body against the earth. And then once again, bring the hands to rest on the frontal body for a moment. Bend your knees, roll yourself onto the right-hand side. You can use your right arm like a little pillow there as you roll onto the right. Turn the chest to face the floor and use your left hand. Push the floor away and look down. Move that cushion that's been against your back. Just move it aside, completely away from you. And now for just a few moments, lie flat on the ground. Keep the pillow for your head, but just bring yourself back into that incredibly neutral position of lying on the flat ground. Lie back in a very similar way that you did over that cushion, so the low back is long and the shoulders draw back. Surrender there just for a few moments, bringing yourself into that place of neutrality. Surrender here completely and totally. Notice how the exhalation allows for that greater and greater sense of surrender. Shavasana comes in layers, and learning how to release and relax takes time. It takes time just in the sequence that you're doing, and it takes time in doing more frequently. And as you do again and again, the understanding of letting go more and more deeply becomes more profound. They say that each Shavasana allows you to go slightly more deeply into that relaxed state. So think of your Shavasana in particular as a voyage into a beautiful unknown landscape. And each time you approach that Shavasana, you get that opportunity to explore a little deeper and a little more completely of that beautiful landscape. Because that beautiful landscape is the landscape within you. It's that place of equanimity, acceptance, recovery, and rebuilding. Observe how the front body surrenders and falls back to the back body. Observe how the back body remains wide against the ground beneath you. And then as you're ready, once again, bend the left leg. Reach your right arm overhead and turn your body onto the right hand side. Turn your chest to face the floor and use your left hand. Push the floor away. And come on back up.
So that's the entire sequence. Try and practice it in order. You might find there's certain positions that you really love to be in. You can stay in those. If it feels like you get uncomfortable, lie flat if you have that bolster, if you have that cushion in your back, and it feels like it bothers your low back, then the cushion's too high, or you're not lengthening the buttock away from your lower back. So that's all. I hope it helps, and I hope to see you back here.